viewers. Whoa! It's always the fun part. Exactly what lives as great, awesome. For only 10 minutes start time that I said be on. Got close. We almost made it. Almost. Entries. Minutes. Hour. Try to keep everything gameplay. Try to say kind of go over the things I like, things. Got a little bit of a script. I'm going to hopefully helpful. Those of you who are just joining us, this is our game jam ever. Well, this intro best practice. I think I've got a much better setup now. I'll actually be able to read YouTube comments now as they're coming in. Those of you watching the live playthrough will in fact be able to see comments as we are going. That should be super. Got a little checklist, cover everything that we're looking for, areas in which awesome areas. If you were to expand on this, what are we going to do next? Right? As mission from our first, I am try to look at every perspective developer and from the perspective of gamers. One or the other, which I and do, right? Because as a developer, there's going to be certain look for or see or notice that gamer might not necessarily. At the same time, thinking about it from the development perspective, this it. Okay, awesome. So let's do our cold read in. Ready to rock and roll, guys. Hello and welcome to Grimlyte Games. Today, we are going to be going through the submission for We Be Jammin 2, second game jam that we have hosted. The theme for this time through is a world without color. And of course, guys, if you're catching this recording, this live stream, however you are viewing this, remember, we're doing these every month. We are trying to create a community which new indie developers can put their work out there and get covered. And otherwise, what obviously the games that are really awesome, indie developers who have a lot of time under their belt and probably even publisher support get a lot more of this. So we're trying to do something a little bit different. We're trying to make sure that up and comers, people who are just starting out, get their time in and also have somebody really critically looking at their work, help them grow, develop. And that is what Grimlyte Games is about. So, what we're going to be doing structure wise, already explained this previous little bit, but if you know that, we're going to try to stick to just about 10 minutes of time coverage for each game, around 60 minutes. We have 6 entries, so pretty good. We're going to do a few minutes of gameplay, and afterwards, we're looking and discussing things we liked, like ways in which it can, and all of that has. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out Death of Your Friend. This was submitted by Ron. R-O-N. Ron. Thank you so much for I've got this kind of set up a little bit. I want to be able to check out the game page. You guys can't see what I'm seeing. I just want to look. Not every game is going to have a tutorial, and a lot of times devs who work, they a little bit of tutorial in the description. Unfortunately, through the app, I can't get that same game description. I'm going to be looking. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right, check it out. Perfect. Great. All right. Lean. I was able to enter escape. We'll pause the game. M on the M icon on back to the got player one movement and we've got player movement. Around we're gonna play around as player WASD movement, and we've got E. Hey, great, awesome. You guys should be able to do all of that. Death Arena for killing your friend. We've got a cave, we've got a factory, sky, island. Like we definitely got some lore for what's going on here. Okay. All right. Hey, I mean, for a 10-day solo developer game jam game, I mean, this is great right here already. Simple menu, but it's nice artistic flair to it. Got a little bit of tutorial kind of splash screen. Nice. And we've got lore. Great. So I'm not going to read all this. I don't want to take away playing through. Go ahead and we're off. Okay, yep, that's it. Escape pauses. Unpause. But moving just up. Alright, great. So it looks like this is me up here, and must be there too. Oh, it loops through. Okay. Wait. Can't jump. Can jump? Okay, interesting. So apparently, ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I got myself trapped. Oh, there we go. So you can't jump, but there key while holding down. It looks. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, look at that! And he's. I like the little pixelated, destructible surface. Okay, I see. I totally understand now. Oh, so we can't actually jump around the level, but because everything connects. Oh, I blew myself up. this is fun. Okay. On this level, power-ups. Let go. Oh, that's everything. Everything. Aha! Oh, it took us both out. Bow and arrow, look at that. Oh. Though that we both spawn in the same spot. I'm not sure if that's good for multiplayer. All right. Okay, that's I like it. Check out. Look up behind you. Woo! Got him. Here for hops on its own. We're gonna analyze this kind of like what, from a player perspective, what would we want to see, right? Maybe like a little bit of aiming reticle, but since it's kind of physical, right? Maybe like a line, really faint, really high, low, that would kind of help us figure out our aim. I almost think maybe as a player, if the aiming didn't revert what it was naturally, that might be a little bit more helpful as a player. Like, I mean, I'm really struggling tapping it to try to get it. But it's a little tricky. From a developer perspective, I gotta say, there's a lot of really cool doing. You know, the infinite level sign, this is great, right? So you can have a very simplified approach to your controls. You don't need jump key, because we can get to just about any place on the map. Well, I say that, just about any place. Obviously, we can't get up here. Go ahead and that's probably us. Okay, we have, okay. Now that being said, maybe adding in a jump function would be something. Prove this even. Oh, and breakable. Craft myself. Okay. So that's Death Arena for killing friend. So that's kind of our blind reaction, right? So as a game developer and as a player, things that we like that there's a little bit of a tutorial here, right? How to game. For developer purposes, though, when you make a pause menu, escape menu, it makes a little bit more sense for the player that I can hit the exact same key to relinquish that menu, right? Because figuring out now that it's paused, I unpause it by hitting escape key, E key. It gives us that noise, that feedback noise, game juice, but it doesn't. Yep, so we like tutorial. Yep, oh good. Fun and engagement. Yeah, I mean, for what it is, right? Well, but it's fun. There's some good skeleton here to stand on. Goodness, could be a little bit more fun if maybe a second player was AI. We'll say, could he actually play this on one? Okay. So that's something to think. Visual presentation. I mean, beautiful, right? It's simply simplistic and beautiful. Beautiful in its love it. Great choices. Sound and music. You know, I wasn't really sure how I felt about the main menu music. I don't know, there's something about it that just kind of hits the ear a little bit wrong. But that's just personal preference, right? But when you're actually inside of the game, good choices. And we've got sound effects for pretty much everything that happens in the game. We know when we picked up a power-up, firing a weapon, we know when we own up ourselves or player. Technical execution. Really no bugs to speak of. There was that soft lock that we ended up with the actually the power up right there, the one that bricks where we build that. Like a lot of the terrain is in fact breakable. Now when you look at this, right, I'm shooting down, kind of breaks it further below. So that's probably something that could be eased out a little bit with technical. Another thing to consider when I point the gun down, facing to the right, but then I left, it flips off. So we probably could include, a little bit of a script check for flipping the animation back and forth. Something to originality. Anything clever or surprising? I mean, played anything like this? I will say that I don't know. I'm at a loss for. I don't think it's not original. It's definitely got some real going on. Polish, finished, cohesive. I mean, yeah, for a 10-day game jam game, some things that we could improve upon. Extra polish stuff here. So let's jump into our final thoughts here as we're coming up on what stands out the most. Very stark black and white contrast. We've got our theme, right? A world without. Pretty basic and or very on the nose interpretation of that, black and white. But I mean, hey, that's the whole point, right? You take the theme, you interpret it how you. One particular area of praise. I love power-ups. Love power-ups in games. Change how the game is played. I think you've done a job there. Actually, if destructibles and the levels were just a little bit more fine-tuned, that would absolutely be doing it for me. I love destructible levels. Maybe even like some kind of regeneration property well, because if we ended up destroying the entire play area, then we just fall. And definitely area of improvement, I'd say jump function, I think could take this another level of fun. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy having to kind of be forced to work around not having a jump function, but I think in this case, type of game, jump function absolutely. Would I want to play more of this? All right. If the second player was somewhere else, right, like not tied to my keyboard, that would definitely. If the other player was an AI, that maybe with level progression. Yep, I think there are some things about this that I would love to play further. Absolutely, we're gonna give Ron a follow if maybe this game gets some. Awesome. So that is our. So let's see, what are we gonna do next? Was submitted to Tommy 712. We've got. Oh, please, technical difficulties. Oh, one of the things that I'm doing to try and help kind of keep me on time and on track. I'm actually running a timer on my phone, and so. Okay, so anyways, jumping right back into it, we've got Ink submitted by Kisami 712. This is a returning jammer from our first jam. Very interested in what they have. Got a 2D platformer. I believe their first game, the other one was a 2D platformer as well. So right there, I definitely just want to point something out as a developer. Sticking to one game type as kind of learning and trying to expand from jam to jam, obviously because the themes are going to be able to do different things with it. I think that's a good formula for improving some of your personal technical skills and your own. Obviously, there is some things about trying everything, but there's also a lot to be said about working on just one thing or one type. I'll be curious to see what we've got going on in this platformer as opposed to the first game jam. See if some of the things that we talked about were improved upon, maybe mechanics. Very, very interested to got very basic AD, arrow keys plus left and right, space jumps. Here's our credits for the assets, font, sound for the jump, dropper sound. Oh, up, in, ink. Okay. Um, oh, hey, B, thanks for joining us. I just noticed here. Figured it would pop up at the top, but I guess it's great too. Okay, we're gonna have to open this up in a stop it from background. Here we go. All right, ink on the game. Full screen. Go. Made with Unity. Like this, like this intro screen right here. Ink. Play button. Got a little juice on the button. Love to see juice in the menu. Guess this is well. It is a world without color. But hey, life is not too bad for an ink pot here. Oh, all right. So this time around, our character is an ink pot. That we've got a nice little idle animal. Ink is really popular as it is the only medium to display contrast. Oh. Sell his ink. Mr. Inkpot must have help him find these. Oh, okay. So some of the first things that I want to point out here, Tommy 712, very nice job. This is some really big improvement from your first game with just like the background, how we've got a little bit of parallax going. I like that. Parallax is one of those things that as a developer, utilizing it to kind of take a very flat two-dimensional game and give it that field of depth. Wonderful. Great. Always, you know, I love having a show tutorial in the beginning. Play. Jump. Oh. Oh, very nice. Very, very good usage there. I love it. Jump. Beware of spikes. I'm gonna go ahead and try and that. Droppers. Walk right in. Enter the door to the right when you are. And we're into the next level. Spike almost got me. Fun little thing about using high contrast. You can definitely unintentionally hide hazards and whatnot. So the first thing that I'd kind of say, just from a developer standpoint, to help your player out, when you are utilizing contrast like this, your obstacle, things that you might want to avoid, see how the kind of like the background is very, very dull. Everything has this very dull gray. You should contrast that with a much sharper color. Say color, right? It's a world without color. A much sharper looking image for your spike. So if you use something a lot closer to white, just kind of make it pop out a little bit more from the background, that's going to help clue your player in to the fact that that is, I'd even say almost probably could do the same thing with player character itself and these ink droppers. Give them like a little bit of a sharper contrast against the background, really help it pop out. But I do gotta say, I like like this animation. I like your character here. Really cool. I like this little hot guy. Purple spot. Make this jump. Hi. Oh, I must have hit it. Wait. Jump. Okay, we did it. Woo! Gotta find 3. Like act. Oh. Oh, that's tricky. That's a big jump. Time this jump. Oh. Yep, time it just right. Can you tell he's a gamer? Aha! Yes! Did it. Oh, did it. Platform. Hey! Great. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, we're gonna give it one more try. We're gonna move on to thoughts. Not that the game is overly difficult. I'm apparently really bad at platform. All right. Hey, Kisami, thank you so much for participating in our second jam. This was nice. This was really well done. I'd say solid improvement from your first one. And not that there was anything wrong with your first one. It was well, but I love how you took the same concept, same game type, utilizing a two platformer, and you expanded on it a lot more, right? That you improved on a whole bunch of things. So let's look at this fun and engagement. I mean, it's a simple 2D platformer, right? Like I'm engaged. It was fun. If I had more time, yeah, I'd love to try and play it through so I could be, the perfectionist really wants to. I get. Yeah, yeah, absolutely fun and engaging. Theme use. How well? Theme. So I like that you have these little stories that come around with these games as well, and I think that was really good, right? So we've got a world without color. Obviously, yeah, Mr. Inkpot here, he's gonna be able to thrive in a world like this. Everybody needs ink, yeah. So yeah, I think you used the theme really well. Nice job. Visual presentation, style, clarity, readability. Um, Very good. I want to cover again on what we were talking about before with kind of like the contrasting, right? And this concept that you really can pull through and utilize in all types of games, not just something that's used monochrome palette, but it becomes especially important in a monochrome palette. Your obstacles, your things that you want the player to kind of like hone in on with their line of sight really should give them a much sharper contrast against your background, just so that way they pop a little bit more, draws the player's eye to it. Things, sound and music. Yeah, you know what? Having the sound effects, having the music playing in the background, definitely improved the experience. Also, good choices there. Nothing was offensive to the ear. Originality. I mean, similar to your first one too, right? Like, yes, this is very original. Like, I'm playing as an ink pot. I don't think I've ever played as an ink. Yeah, definitely. Nice and original. Love it. Cool designs too. I really do appreciate. I can tell how much time went into designing this ink pot character. You kind of look at it and be like, oh, it's two dimensional, it's flat. There's nothing really. There's so little tiny details inside of it that I can appreciate. Right? It's really nice. Polish. Does it feel finished? Cohesive? You know? Yeah, I'd say for a 10-day project, absolutely. This is. So, what are some things that we potentially expand upon a little bit more? Now that I kind of know that 2D platformers are the thing that you're working on, right? So, I challenge you with the next jam that you do a 2D platformer with. Think about trying add in different style mechanics, not just the side scrolling left to right, jump across these gaps, avoid these spikes. I challenge you to think of some other type of obstacle have your player overcome. Maybe you could utilize wall climbing, wall jumping. I think you're ready to start working into that a little bit. Definitely play around with that outside of a time constrained project, just kind of get a feel for how a mechanic like that might work. But yeah, other than that, keep up the great work. You're doing awesome. Things that stood out the most. I love your use of monochrome. I love your little inkpot character. Talked about that. The game juice that you utilized for the jump. We're gonna go ahead and do it quick. That really stands out. This is some really cool game. Wonderful articles. Definitely more of that. Don't overkill it. We talked about some. See, I've got my whole checklist. I'm definitely going out of order. I think for the next one, I'm going to try and follow it. Would I play more if it were expanded? Yeah, absolutely. I've been enjoying your 2D platformers so far. Keep building on them. I want to play more of them. Hey, that's. Oh, there. Okay, so we played Ink, played Death Arena, Killing Your Friend. Let's go ahead and colorless ascent. I know we've got B watching us. Want to fun fact for it was originally going to be an icy tower climb, but I didn't. Fair. Running out of name. God. Oh, fantastic. Flag to try. I have not tried all. 550. Hey, look at that. I got some score already, and I haven't. Ah! Here we go. So, yeah, look at that. I've got a score already, and I haven't even played. I am that good. Oh no, my mic's cutting in. Probably the YouTube, if I had to. I don't think it's recording them. No, actually, it is. Turn our gain up. Patches. Testing, testing. Oh. Oh boy. All right, I think I'm just gonna have to like stuff it right up in my reason. Oh. Hmm. How's this on your end? Picking me up more now? Still cutting in. Fortunate. Technical. Why? want to make sure I turn. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, all right. Well, we're just gonna continue on, and hopefully everything's just fine. Doesn't. Okay. Press space to continue. Okay. Oh. All right. I gotta say first thing right here. I like. Going on and on. Settings. Lunatic mode. Oh, this. Okay. Unfortunately, I think I gotta lock my options. Set. Hit the flag to try again. Just to continue. Unfortunately, I don't know if I play this. I'm not sure what's happening. I want to check, see if. Huh. Yeah, sorry, B. I don't. It's not working. Try one more time. Yeah, I don't. I guess. Great. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry, buddy. Um, we'll definitely see if maybe there's a different version. Back on that. But for now, let's move on to mono. Oh, I forgot. Monochrome was submitted to by Sanjeet. Sanjeet, also a returning jammer from our first one. Fantastic. I believe Sanjeet was responsible for Bubbles Day Out. Not. So that was a fun one, very interesting, cool concept. So I'm curious to see what they have in store for us this time. So we've got monochrome. Play rules. What are the rules? Use WASD to bounce, jump, solve puzzles in. Sounds simple enough. Mono has a dull. There is no coloring. We still wish. In this world, there is no concept of money. He builds himself a maze. Solve all puzzles to win. Okay. Whoa! Alright, I could do that. Okay, so we found a key. Or I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is probably something that we don't want to encounter. Oh. Well, that's something we'll cover in a... Long. Oh, cool! Hand glitch. Oh, I like it. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Alright, that's auto jumping. Oh, pretty cool. Move boxes. So, I'm gonna assume I can jump in. Okay, so if I had fallen down, like I can't. Oh, I think I just soft locked myself now. Got it. Nope, not it. Boot it. Alright, we can just restart the level. Huh. Oh no. Okay, whoop. Not sure how I did that, but we... Button. Oh, okay, press button. Gotcha, gotcha, okay. Alright, I'm on board, gotcha. Fans, stop you. Yeah, they sure do that. So, if we use our E key, though, we can flip that fan off. Flame burns you. Bucket. Picked up the bucket. Once you pick up the bucket, you can... Gotcha. Near portals to teleport. Oh, so I don't have a bucket of water this time, which means I will burn if I run out of fire. So if I jump, I will teleport. Look at that. I can go back. Remember, press E for interactions. Jump, WS to climb, AT. Have fun. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we had a full-on tutorial level, and now we're actually like getting into the game. Okay. Okay, we got spikes down here. So I'm gonna have to like jump and... Oh, got it. Look at that. Ah, whoa! That was a super jump right there. Auto jump. Other... Oh, yeah, the door was right at the beginning. Okay, there's... Still have the key. Oh. Really neat. Fantastic. Okay, so fan down there. Probably have to turn there, turn that one up. There's the switch for that fan, I'm assuming. Okay. Oh, I don't even remember grabbing the key. Fire over there, so we can't go that way. Spikes. 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 I'll land this one. Box was a little wonky. Oh no. But this is good. That actually gives me talk about. Oh no! Oh, and I don't have the. All right, that's where we're gonna stop our playthrough. Though, just being conscious of our time. I had this whole like system based this time, and I've thrown it out the window. So what do we have going on here? All right. So fun and engagement. Did it hook me? Was it enjoyable? Yes, absolutely. I love this little puzzle platformer. I like the mechanics that you've introduced in it. I love the fact that at this tutorial level, right? Like you introduced each mechanic one at a time, showed us how to do it, and then we went on. Um, Now I am gonna go just a bit out. Think here. So what would I want to change there? Like, right, what could we change to potentially better engage our player? So you could try baking in your tutorial levels like with like a full blown level. Like obviously, right, the first one about getting heat. Then as you get onto like the fans and the fire, maybe something like a little bit more. Like you had to do it a few more times than part. That's just some food for thought, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with the way you approached the tutorial level. I think it was great. It explained everything it good show, don't tell. My favorite kind of tutorial, and a lot of gamers tend to that way. So, how well did you use? I mean, similar to the others, this is great. It's a nice monochrome world. I love the fact that the background is kind of alive. You get a parallax with it. Visual presentation, style, clarity. I think that's great. I like the little smoky character. I love your little jumping animation. How he does this crazy flip in the air. I think that's really cool. Nice there. Sound and music. You know, I think you did a great job with the sound and music in your. But I think you did an even better job with. Right, like we've got that music that's looping in the background, but it's just chill. It's fine. You know, it immerses me in the game and it doesn't pull me out of the game. There's nothing about it that's like, oh wow, this loop. No, it was a very good choice. And having you know, nice little sound effects for your jump, that's great. Where you can improve, definitely could be a sound effect when you hit a spike, like a or fire, like you know, just little things like that. Right, just a little extra game juice, a little bit of player possession to throw into things like that. I mean, you've already got a good core structure, right? So, add a little more flavor in. Technical execution, smoothest bugs, controls. Really run into any bugs. I didn't soft lock myself. I will say, as far as smoothness goes, when it comes to the hitboxes on obstacle traps, I'm a huge believer in always trying to be a little bit more forgiving for the player. Like, I mean, looking at this, right? Like, I wouldn't say that was touching us, right? Like, kind of see that right there. And then when we look at the jumping run, right? So there's like this perfect spot you have to land in here because it's hard this way, boop. And then even that, like, it doesn't look like you hit the top of it, but. So maybe something to play around with a little bit is set yourself up like a little demo level, something like this, and then really play around with the hitboxes. It feels visually like just right. Players not really getting hit. They're making full on. And that's what I mean when I say generous with the hitboxes. Because what I tend to find is that as you're building things out, being more generous with the hitbox is going to actually make it look a little bit more realistic for where your point of contact should be, could be, right? Polish. Does it feel finished, cohesive? Yes. Great. Yeah. This is a 10-day game, done in 10 days, and fine. Works. What stood out the most? Your flipping animation, your jumping animation. That absolutely stood out the most. Second to that, what stood out the most was your show, don't tell tutorial. Favorite kind of tutorial. Love it. I think that's the way they always should be. But perfect. Area of praise. Kind of what we were already talking about, right? Like your music choice, really good. I love the jumping animation. I don't know what about it. It just does it for me. improvement or opportunity. We already talked about that, where you could improve on your hitboxes a little bit, focus a little out if would I want to play more if it was absolutely puzzle platformers. Definitely something that I enjoy playing, especially shorter ones. You can beat a little bit of time, and I love little stories and narratives crafted in. Right? Like they're not necessary, but they definitely do add to it. Work, love it. And then of course I do simple, super awesome menu, but what? Ink, we did monochrome, friends. We got the Great King and Project. Let's try the Great. Oh nope, it worked this time. Okay, so I did try out a couple of these earlier today. Just I didn't play them, just made sure I had them loaded. Okay, so we are in the Great King. Play settings. Hey, look at that, a music setting. That's actually wonderful. In when it comes to audio levels, now I know I said I was gonna look at everything first, talk about it, but this right here, I have to talk about this. Settings menu. Honestly, even if it's just for a game jam page, if you can do this in short order time, a settings menu is a huge boon. When the players can control how loud the sound effects are, players can just kind of control little things about the game that could potentially be annoying to them. Yes, absolutely. What were you expecting from a game so basic? I love it. A little bit of humor sprinkled into to the settings menu there. Credits, developers, music and sound by Thorfinn. Voice acting, creator. Last one as Toad. Not Toad. What? Artist, the masked one. Game idea, the map. Oh, you actually care about the credits. Of course I care about the credit. Yeah, you know what? I am one of those weird people. After I beat a game, I will actually sit there and watch the credits. Right? Those people worked so hard on that game. Why wouldn't I watch the credits? Right? Maybe it's just okay. So let's go ahead.
These are the grey lands of the Grey King. No color, only dull
Volume up.
silence, just like it always has been.
There was definitely some narration there. Let's see. We've got level one, two, 4, and 5. I mean, obviously, we're just going to start with level one, right? Money top left. We are on a timer. Okay. Enemy walls stop you. All that will stop me. Some little buy monsters, attack the enemies. You have 10 buy miners. I am going to language may not be your first language. Therefore, I'm not crap about it. Totally fine. I understand what you're trying to go for. Okay, let's get the game going. All right, looks like we've got a little track here. Yep, here act is our timer. H. That must be. Okay, well, obviously, the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to get our economy going. Because anytime you've got some kind of tower defense game, crash into game, if the game allows you to build an economy, you build an economy. A wall that pops on. Fine, I don't care. We're getting our economy going. We're almost maxed. Okay, now we are maxed. Oh, yep, look at that. Another wall did in fact spawn. So go ahead and get. Oh, slammed into the wall. Okay. the wall and I don't know what it is. So intriguing. I like these little yellow guys. It almost reminds me like of Thing from the Adams Family. It kind of looks like a hand running around with like this little like, dog body. It's interesting looking. Oh, we've got. Whoa, go ahead. We'll crank out a little arm. Yeah. Okay, so got an attack and we've got hit point attack and hit. All right, so the walls must have like a certain amount of E, and then you guys do a certain amount of damage. So hitting the wall must also hurt. By it seems some of times they'll crash into through it and then oh yep, sure enough, that is in fact the um well I guess while we're just kind of sitting here, we could probably talk about some of the things, right? So simple design, perfect, great. Um, Interesting choice that the world here seems to be like monochrome, black and white. Then you've got this very stark contrast with the color for your little monsters and characters. So it's almost like the world itself is a entity, and we are color. Suppose it's like dating.
The keys in our castle, my son.
Oh, not Toad. Ah, ah, I totally get it. Okay. Oh my goodness. That is a Mario Brothers reference. When you get to, the castle is like, ah, okay. Get it. And look at that. We beat that level and now it has colorized background here. Also, you get extra money for the next ones. Watch out, he has vision. He has sharp sticks, is the ranger. This level's extra enemy. You can bring color in this world. You can do it. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right. I wasn't sure at first. I was like, okay, where's it going? But now, okay, I get it. I was kind of like on the right track, right? Like the world is gray, and we are bringing color to it. Our color assault, if you will. So we're gonna play through this next level, and I think what we're gonna do is while we're playing through this, we're gonna go ahead and talk about things and so first, foremost, fun and engagement. Well, you may I absolute sucker tower defense games, minion spawning games. This reminds me a lot of now that I'm putting myself on the spot. I can't remember the reverse tower defense game where you are the evil wizard trying to take. And I like that concept. I thought it was pretty. So yeah, you tickled me here, right? You caught me. So fun and engagement. Yeah, I'm enjoying. I definitely don't have enough time to play through all the levels, but yeah, I'm just see where you go with this story. Theme use. I wasn't sure at first, right? But I'm glad that I went ahead and I hopped into the second level because it did explain it a little bit more. And yeah, now that I see that, I'd say I think you nailed the theme perfectly. Got this very monochrome world, and we're like, no, we bring the color. Bubblegum, son of a. Get that reference? Well, you'll probably get that reference. Not visual presentation, style, clarity. I mean, yeah, no, this is really good. It's really well done, and I don't know what it is about these little characters, right? This yellow guy here, he's oh here's uh-huh. The enemy puts towers up. Okay, so we're actually probably going to have to be a little strategic with the waves that we release. Probably going to want to set it up so like our buff guy is going to be out of the front, and our faster get damage on the castle. I mean, we've got enough economy too. A little dude. Style, clarity, consistency, UI readability. Yeah, definitely. There's some areas that it could improve. Text looked a little bit out of place, the UI menus, but that's a small thing. Sound and music. There was a narration. Um, couldn't hear it at first. It was just that low, which to a certain extent it's definitely better go quieter than louder because blow out people. They're not expecting it, but that that was
The king is in another castle, my son.
a. It really is. It's saying the king is in another castle, scooped over it. Oh, look at that. Even more enemies. Technical execution. I mean, not really running into any bugs. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Simple, wonderful for a 10-day game job. Originality. Um, I mean, yeah, obviously the reverse tower defense game, it's been done. Um, I don't think you're necessarily doing anything like genre breaking here. So I don't think I stellar marks for that, but that has some very cute charm and appeal. Right? Yeah, some fun little designs. I mean, this guy, I do love the throwback reference. Fun. That's polish. Does it feel cohesive? Does it feel finished? Um, I'd say yeah, it's finished, but there definitely are some things you probably could go back and up a little bit. Some extra little sound effects and visuals for when your minions run into the walls or hit the walls. You could potentially also have this castle, some enemies of its own that will kind of like counter march against your guys. But as far as having like some variety here, no, I think this is good. Maybe working in like a unlock system as you go. Also, like I think these guys are attacking because they've got a little animation, but no way for me to tell. He is flashing red, so obviously they're hitting him. Oh, it's a splash attack. Definitely, you could probably show that a little better. Yeah. What stood out the most? The colored enemies versus the monochrome background that popped really nicely to me. I liked your interpretation of the theme. I think pretty good pop. I don't know what it is about these little yellow characters and how they move, but that really stands out to me
The
as
king
well.
is in another
I love the
castle, my
little
son.
digs at pop culture that got the little humor. That's I like this light up as you levels. I think that was quite a few at areas of improvement. Definitely would add a little bit more juice, more visual flair to hitting when being hit. Give me a little bit more feedback, right? Like as a player, like I know something's happening. Like see it, I can feel it, I can sense it, I can get the idea, right? Like a little extra juice, things that are definitely help this pop out. Would I want to play more if it's expanded? Yeah, absolutely. I love reverse tower, and I don't think there's enough of those out there. I think that you would need to really find something within this design that you touched in to really make it kind of stand out. Because tower defense, right? Like that's a very saturated. There isn't a lot of reverse tower defense, but at the same time, it's like making that an interesting playthrough. Probably where the big challenge is. What exactly are parameters? How are you going about that? So finding a nice, unique approach to that. Definitely think you could do it, and put this one back in the oven. Let it cook a little bit more. I think you got something. We are on Project Turmeric. Oh, oh, oh. Now, with me, there are a couple things going on with this. It was a slightly late entry team project. Don't worry, they talked to me. They got everything. Fortunately, sounds like they off her. But unfortunately, with that meant I had to like kind of a special way I had to access it. Basically, I had to download the zip. I had to put it. I had to. No big deal, right? All right. So Project Turmeric. Before we do that, I want to show you the game. Okay, where a colorless world could gain back its color. Warning: it's a game about depression. It doesn't fully signify the feeling or emotion. However, it was the best we could. Professor Suicidal, please. Just to kind of touch upon that, there are really great hotlines out there that you can phone. Find yourself in a that, state. But seeing this, and definitely wanted to make sure that I went through this because this was a very interesting, also very close to home take on the world without color theme. I was very interested when I read this to see what these guys took as the interpretation of that and what they did with it. You know, that whole juxtaposition, tasteless, colorless, everything in life tapped, and I think that a very powerful motif here, and I'm interested to see what they were able. I am gonna hold some of my I'm gonna hold some of my expectations, right? So this was a team. They did work really hard on it, but I think kind of got into a little scope creep. So we're gonna take that into consideration. We're gonna look at it through that lens. We've got arrow keys. We've got Z. Fire a mouse at. Okay, good. Let us go ahead. Eerily. Oh wow, you guys nailed it with the art. Feels very bleak. Edge follows them. This very stark contrast can interact. So I guess my first is probably that they're some kind of game. Maybe it's just the plant that we can interact with. All right, so they definitely prepared me that it's a very incomplete project. But I think this is a really good place for us to kind of jump off and right. I love that even though it is incomplete and feels like so much is missing from the game. I mean, other the art style is fantastic. I don't know. I don't know which of you guys was responsible for that. That is probably the biggest area that I want to throw some praise at. I think as far as pixel art goes, job here. I will definitely touch on some of the things that I like how you did with your shading, and I'll also offer some how you can edit to pop a little bit more. Unless, of course, if the plan was to make it look very flat against the background, which potentially could be a style choice that you were going for. I don't. But if that was the case, I mean, great, right? Flat against the background kind of sits with that whole mood. I think the animation for the characters is good. Obviously, how does one personify depression? Right? I think job. So let's dive into this fun and engagement. Well, there isn't really enough here to judge it on engagement or how fun depression potentially be. But obviously, I could see what you guys were going for, how there were going to be like some mini games, potentially helping this character find purpose, find some combat. The theme use. I think you guys took the idea of the theme and very artistic direction, both mentally and world. So nice job there. Really good use. Visual presentation style, Claire. I think you've done a really nice job presenting this unique, stark, gray world to us. I love. So this kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier. One of the other games using that contrast in monochrome palette to show the player what they can or can't interact with, right? So I knew the Z key was to interact. You can kind of see how everything else in the background really dark, it's gray. Then we've got this very stark contrast of the plant that when we touch it, know that we can interact. Okay? Sound and music. Well, there is no sound, there is no music. Technical execution, smoothness, bugs, controls, functionality. I mean, for what's here, smooth. This is a great little transition that you've got here. Oh, no bugs that I've really encountered. The only thing that I would say, not sure if it was intended, I'm assuming that the level was probably going to be a bit more expansive, but in situations like that, ran out of time. Confine your level, right? Don't let me walk off because I have no idea how far I can walk. I can just keep holding this key. It happens, right? And maybe potentially I can break the game. Maybe I can't. Held it for a little hot minute there. Hold the other direction just as long to get back. Okay, so they're definitely. I wonder how far the floor goes eventually. But yeah, definitely in situations like that in the future, just put some walls up. Not even necessarily like a physical wall, like you don't have to draw a wall in there, but just use a collider and your player. Originality. Yeah, I think especially if you guys had time to flesh this out even more, very original concept. I think a lot of that probably stems from it relatively taboo concept, and a lot of people really want to touch that one. So I think there's opportunity here. Polish, feel finished, cohesive, et cetera. Well, I mean, obviously, you guys said you bit off a little bit more than you could chew, ran into some scope creep, stuff like that. Can't really dive too. So let's give our final thoughts, right? What stood out the most? Art direction. I think that's great. I love pixel art. Always been a fan of it. Um, Now, what I really highlight this shading that you've done via pixel art, heather, dithering. That's what the dithering that you've created on your shading, shadows for all of these objects. Absolutely phenomenal. Well done. Very good use. there's a couple inconsistencies, right? Like we've got everything kind of coming over here on the right, the plant very down. So maybe it isn't in. Hold on. Nope. You know what? I take that back. It's not inconsistency. Now that I kind of see where your lights are seen, right? You've got a light up here and a light up here. This actually makes perfect sense for how your shadows are cast. So I take that back. It's not inconsistent. Really good. Shadows heading right over here, cutting to the left, right here, etc. Same thing with over here. So nope, never mind. Take that back. Um, but as far as like trying to get these things to pop a little bit more, if that was mentioned, right? No, but there's definitely some more line work to do with some of these objects, right? Like this table looks very flat against the background. So what you would do is think of it like from perspective. Pro, are you? I am rookie. I am a greenhorn. I am a game developer with like no games of my own to talk. That's about as far as it goes. I am a gamer, a part of a bunch of different indie developer. I guess that's the simple answer. Game developer hobbyist. Have not published it. But back to what we were talking about here. So when we're trying to create perspective, right? So if we angled table a little bit more, like corner instead of here, brought it back this way a little bit. Same thing, stretched this one out a little bit, utilized secondary leg. We could even create a little bit of a parallax as well, right? So that's just a way in which you could get this to pop a little more. Obviously, again, if the point was to have this very flat against the background, then you did it. Works really well for what it is. And I just do want to talk about it one more time because the art is really what we can talk about. Your dithering, your shading, your shadow effects with pixel art, fantastic. Would I want to play more if it was expanded? Um, Absolutely. You guys have piqued my interest. I'm very curious. I would love to see where, yeah, if you keep working on this project, please let me know. Hit us up in the Discord. I'd love to check this out. So that's going to wrap up for everything that we kind of looked at here. Hit exit. Okay. Uh, well done, everyone. Seriously, really, really. No, we had six submissions this time for very nice work, everybody. Definitely want to get in touch with you. B, I want to talk about Colorless Ascent. I feel like I unfortunately can't give it a very good score or rating. I wasn't able to play it. Not sure if that was a me problem, if that was a problem with downloading one of the other options work that better. But I don't know. We'll get in touch though. We'll talk. We'll. So hey guys, thanks so much for joining me here today. I had a blast. I hope you had a blast. We're definitely going to be doing an edit of this whole endeavor, and obviously we're going to have our ratings up as well. And you'll be able to find more info about that in the Discord channel. Thanks so much for joining us for We Be Jammin' 2. We will catch you next time. Be